is going on with the marketing these days? I mean, a cold beer at the end of the day, whether you're a man or a woman, you want to be left alone. You want to have your cold beer. You don't want to get preached at. You know, you don't want to be proselytized or hit with a bunch of narratives that you don't care to hear about. You're like, leave me alone. I'm trying to have a beer right now.
Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. This is an unexpected video, emergency video. This is not the other video I was expecting to do today. I will have that out shortly, but I had to jump on this because I just did the video of Miller Lite, doing this male bashing commercial. And the female that was doing that was Ileana, what's her name? Ileana Glazer. She came out saying, well, they put us in bikinis and these awful men, even though these women did it by choice, not at the end of a barrel, and were being paid for it. Oh, these awful men, they put us in these terrible positions and they made us do that. And oh, wouldn't you know it, caught in 4K, this chick did the same thing. As you can see in the thumbnail that I have here. I did a search on this and it popped up in a thread. But I just did a search on Miller Lite, and you can see here that commercial is going all over the place. And the woman that was in charge of the commercial has, oh my gosh, is that Gorlock the Impaler? Oh, Gorlock's back, everybody. And somebody's saying, now you've canceled real women in your campaigns. Why don't you go all the way and use this thing as your ambassador? Hey, it's our friend Gorlock. Anyway, so they're going viral, and here's the clip I came across from Libs of TikTok 2. Now, I don't know if this is the original or a backup, Latino-run independent of Libs of TikTok, here in case they get banned. So it's not followed by many people. I don't follow it, but it appeared in my thread. And caught in 4K, here's the same lady that told you that, oh, being put in bikinis and being shot for money and being put on TV, and we shouldn't just look at women for their... Now, you could say, well, maybe this is part of a TV show. Okay, but she agreed to it. Well, this is part of a Photoshop. Okay, but she agreed to it and she got paid for it. So how's that different than the bikini babes in the beer commercials back in the 90s, in the 80s? Oopsie, here's another photo shoot. I like her better with her clothes on. Uh-oh, and this one's where she's really almost quite... Well, Miller Lite... is all of a sudden, here's their marketing manager. Shocking, it's a woman. Miller Lite's chief of marketing has spent years flopping from one liberal cause to another. Oh, I'm so surprised. And what happens when you put a liberal woman in charge of marketing to probably not really political or more conservative men? You get the newest Miller Lite commercial, but they have to do it for their ESG scores, you see. Sophia Colucci. Sophia Colucci, and this is from May 15th, so this is from today. The chief marketing officer of Molson Coors Beverage, which owns Miller Lite, has a past of supporting liberal causes such as controlling what you can use or not use for long-range hole punching, protests for St. Floyd, immigration, and the jabs. Wow, there's that. What a shock. Now, who would have thought putting this woman in charge of maybe advertising to mostly men and conservatives, or at least independent, would be a bad idea? Because, again, you're not going to walk into any pub in Manhattan, some little Manhattan martini bar, and see guys sitting there in their $1,000 suits after getting off of Wall Street, sipping a Bud Light with their pinky extended while they hit on all the overweight women that work with him. Miller Lite released an ad on March 7th titled Bad Ass Good to Good Ass, which goes after the beer industry and supposed sexism against women. The ad has drawn recent criticism after Bud Light's promotion of We Know That showed off a beer can with an influencer's face on it, which that's not really why everybody was going nuts. That's what, Anheuser-Busch said that's what they were going nuts for. No, the fact is that you were doing it on TikTok, which is mostly targeted towards young people and kids that shouldn't be seeing this, and the fact that you're giving these type of promotions away to men dressed as women, not women. They also released a can with a rainbow that states celebrate everyone's identity. If you saw the Mulvaney thing, the other thing is like, yay, sports, it's March Madness. I didn't even know what that was. It's like, okay, now you're just insulting the people that drink your product. Colucci has deleted many of the posts. So already, like I was showing on Twitter, when you scroll through, there's a lot of people taking notice to this because people like myself and everybody else that wants to call this out is bringing it to light. And she's now like, uh-oh, I don't want to turn out like the Bud Light or the Bud Light chick did and getting fired, which means being out of the public eye, but getting another job or being put on vacation while getting paid. And then they bring her back quietly in another department. She says, oh, I don't want that to happen to me. So she starts deleting many of her posts. The caller took screenshots of her posts before they were deleted. Colucci donated and shared a fundraiser on her Facebook page that goes to reuniting migrants with their families. She also shared another page regarding the Vegas incident, saying members of Congress who received donations from the NRA need to meet with the people that were harmed to implement other laws. In another post, she praised the Pope for stressing the importance of the jab. So she's pro-jab, medicine, trust the science. Yeah, and there's another picture of her with Hillary Clinton. I'm not kidding. There's another picture of her with Hillary Clinton. Now, here's the thing. Again, it's fine if she wants to do these things on her Facebook page. I don't think that has anything to do with Miller Lite. But the problem is when you're getting somebody that is literally an activist and putting them in charge of your marketing, don't you think some of that is going to bleed through? And when it does, and your target audience is mostly men and mostly either independent or conservative or just people that don't want to be hammered about this stuff anymore, don't you think there's going to be blowback? So she's very left, and that's fine. I don't. Your who you are politically online doesn't really matter. But when you're hired to become marketing, and the marketing's to men that don't necessarily agree with you, middle, like the flyover states, the red belt states, and something like this bleeds through. Well, here we are a March after this came out, because this is back in March, a month. This is a month after this came out or so, came back out in March. They probably were like, hey, we got by. The internet's forever, and people are catching up People are catching up to these things. I apologize. I'm so excited to read. I keep stumbling over my words. And this is from People Magazine, and this is Ileana Glazer, and she is part of the LDHDTVQ community. And she says, I'm going to be patriotic. She's another, very left-leaning person. And okay, so now you've got this actress, and you've got the Miller Lite rep that's in charge of this stuff, and oopsie doopsie, you're talking to the wrong audience, and now it's too late. But again, the biggest part of this is her shaming us men for looking at the Miller bikini ads of the olden days and saying, hey, we like those commercials, and now we have to make it back up to women for liking that stuff, when she literally did the same thing. She literally put herself out there in just the same ways for photo shoots, probably for money. And, she went on TV. Here she is in little booty shorts and a almost a see-through top. And you're going to say, oh, well, we have to shame everybody for doing this. Even though it was back 10 or 20 years ago, they need to make it up to us women. Okay, are you going to make it up to women? Because you did the same thing. And they always pull the ladder up behind them. Oh, it's a different time now. That was a long time ago. I didn't know any better. But the people you're shaming were in the same time that you were when you were doing this stuff. They were the same men that were going, hey, I kind of like these ads and looking at this stuff. But they pull the ladder up behind them because now they're more educated and they understand the world. That's the kind of stuff they're going to say. Well, I understand the world better now. It's a different place. But if you had, I don't know, something that happened to you 20 years ago and hey, it was different times back then. Oh, how dare you? Shame on you. You should have known better. But of course, I couldn't realize any better. I'm just going to leave it there. It was a quick little blurb. I thought you guys would get a kick out of it. The double speak, the I'm better than you attitude, and they literally do the same thing every time. Guys, don't forget Saturday nights are movie nights over at betterbachelor.locals.com. Last week we did Cabin in the Woods, and we did, what was the second one? Oh, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I'm not sure. I think we're going to go Escape from L.A. and Revenge of the Nerds, because 80s and tatas, good times. So make sure to jump over there and join us for that, and we'll see you in the next one.